Are you ready for some more Outriders news? So we've got a lot to go over today, including something that could change this franchise forever and for the better. We're going to be talking about this right here, how Game Pass is teasing a new game and it seems to fit some of the motifs of Outriders. This could be very big for this franchise because it would bring a lot more audience to this world pretty much permanently. And yeah, we're gonna go to the tease, exactly what official sources are saying about that. Plus, we're gonna be talking about a brand new interview with the dev team. This talks about the single player experience versus co-op, the lack of in-game chat, and what they are going to be doing about that potentially. Plus, the future of the franchise and how quickly can you max out your character. And then someone has actually played this game a whopping 254 hours. That is, they've played the demo 254 hours. We're going to talk about that as well. So welcome back, everyone, to Open World Games. Hope you're doing good. Let's dive straight into the latest happenings around Outriders, starting with this tease, which again could be huge for Outriders, for this franchise going forward. This is coming from Xbox Game Pass. It says, there's probably a hint about a game in here somewhere. Honestly, we can't even keep up with all the announcements lately. And if we go in here, it says, hey team, so much news today. Hope you don't mind if I add some more, although it's completely unrelated to the other announcements. That new game has been confirmed and is officially coming to the service. As always, keep this confidential. Before I go, I did have something I wanted to ask. Has anyone else noticed a mysterious signal appearing in the distance lately, or am I the anomaly in this situation? Weird question, I know. Thanks, Melissa. And this is what a lot of people agree about, a tease to the fact that Outriders would be coming to Xbox Game Pass. And yeah, if we go right here to Reddit, we can see the community discussing it as well. If you scroll down here, Prof. Rolex says this, description for Outriders. It says, humanity's efforts to colonize the alien planet Enoch went astray as the expedition team encountered a massive energy storm known as the Anomaly during their search for a mysterious signal. So you could see how this is absolutely matching up with the tease from Xbox Game Pass. And again, we're going to be having apparently some events related to Microsoft, related to Xbox Game Pass here in the future. And what we do know officially from Square Enix is that yes, we're going to have an event here on March 18th as they showcase Outriders, Tomb Raider, and more games from Square Enix. Again, that's going to be March 18th. So the potential of seeing an Outriders announcement related to Xbox Game Pass is pretty high there, because that's only like in a couple days. So I'll keep you guys in the know as to whether or not that is going to be happening. But you know, overall, it seems like a lot of you guys are really positive about the potential of Outriders heading to Xbox Game Pass. As Blazy Man says this, if it is Outriders, that would actually be insane. Hopefully they announce it soon so I know whether or not to pre-order it. So yeah, Techno Word of Gab says, Game Pass or not, I've already pre-ordered since December and it's staying that way. This game earned my money already. This just means it's easier to get Xbox friends to play too. That's true. Like, the audience size would grow enormously. Now, however, there are some warnings about this. It might not be Outriders. TIE Fighter 559 says this, to temper expectations just a bit, which, believe me, this would be unbelievably cool. A quick Google search of Signal, Anomaly, and video game also brings up a couple of mentions of the Stalker series, which would also make sense considering the sequel coming out soon. Now, they say this not saying it's in stone, just saying it would be far more likely for the game preceding an upcoming sequel to show up versus a launch of a fresh IP. We've seen fresh IPs, though, end up on the Xbox Game Pass fairly quickly, and Microsoft have been super aggressive about the gaming space lately. You guys know they acquired Bethesda for $7.5 billion. Also, there's Anomaly also refers to Mass Effect series as well. So you never know what's going to happen here, but it would be so cool to see Outriders on Xbox Game Pass. I will again let you guys know what happens with that in the future. Now, also, get this. This is insane. Someone has played the Outriders demo for a whopping 254 hours so far, showing that players are willing to grind this game big time. That's on like the extreme end of things, but it does show that players really are interested in the legendaries on offer in the demo, and I can't even imagine what it's going to look like when the final game does come out, what the player base is going to be doing. Now, we do have a fairly new interview with People Can Fly. This comes from WCCFtech.com, and they ask about a lot of cool stuff here, including co-op versus single player and so on and so forth, as well as the fact that the game has no in-game chat. Will we ever see that in the future? So this is what they ask. It says, one thing I've been wondering about is the ability to play in single player, as all the synergy of the game seems to come from different players and co-op. Could you describe what the single player experience would be like and how it might differ from the co-op experience? Now, Piotr Nowakowski of People Can Fly says the game can be played solo and multiplayer and offers a little bit of a different experience. Both are viable and fun. There are some mechanics that will shine in multiplayer. Still, the way we create our mechanics is by building them from pieces. It's not like we made an assumption that, for example, a Technomancer combined with the Devastator will create that specific effect. So we are supporting that combination of classes. It's rather that guy will debuff the enemy, and then the Devastator mechanics will benefit from that because we are building it in that way. Even in a single player environment, you can take advantage of that mechanic. We really believe playing as a solo will grant you as much fun working with the builds as you may have in multiplayer. Furthermore, he says, of course, there are some aspects that are unique for the multiplayer side of Outriders, such as reviving others or using the healing mechanics that benefit everyone in the team, etc. So I've been having a lot of fun with both. The gameplay that you are seeing in the background is actually with my twin bro Ryan. We have been streaming Outriders recently and have been having a blast so far. Check out my streams in the description below as well. Would love to have you guys drop in and say hello in my streams. We have a total freaking blast. But anyway, furthermore, they go on to say this about single player versus multiplayer. They go on to say, so I will say multiplayer just opens up more options. Sometimes it's easier because you don't need to be as universal. In multiplayer, I can rely on my friends and say, okay, in that case, you will fulfill that role, and I can focus on different aspects. So I will say it's a little bit of a different approach. Still, both ways are viable, and that was really important for us because we as players wanted to have a game where one day you might really feel the mood for playing alone, or another day you are gathering with good friends, playing together, and want to switch to that gameplay. I really feel we achieved that point where both options are available and are fun. Give it a try, as I feel players will be really happy with the decision that we came up with. Now, they have no mention in here whether or not co-op or single player will affect the loot. It seems like that's going to be more dedicated to the world tiers and not to whether or not you're playing single player or solo, which personally I absolutely love, and I hope they keep it that way in the future. Now let's keep going, shall we? Let's talk about maxing out your character. They go on to ask this: can you max your character build with the first playthrough, or is it going to take multiple playthroughs of Outriders in order to do that? Piotr goes on to say the following: we have a lot of mechanics that allow repeating parts of content. Every side quest is repeatable. You can repeat them as many times as you want. So if you're the person that wants to get good items, side quests are the places that give you good rewards. So you may decide, okay, I'll repeat that content for better gear, and so it slows down the time when you will finish the campaign. On the other hand, it helps you with the climbing of the world tier. If you are talking about a perfect single playthrough without repeating parts, I guess it will be hard to complete everything because there is a lot of items, mods, elements that you need to gather. Now, in theory, it's possible if you're super lucky. Again, when I'm talking about the playthrough, I'm talking about finishing the campaign and then going for the whole expeditions, because when you finish the campaign, I doubt you will already have a set based on legendary items. On the other hand, in theory, I can repeat content early, spend a lot of time on farming elements, and finish the campaign with a really good high-level build. Still, in the expeditions, you can increase that and make it better. So basically what he is saying here, of course, expeditions are going to extend the game even beyond the single player story. That's going to be kind of like the in-game stuff. Of course, you guys probably want to see, you know, raids in the future with this game. Who knows? But we shall see. So you know, overall, I'm really super impressed with what they have built so far and also how they've laid out the game. And I cannot wait to get into other parts of this world. Now, also, one of you guys noted out here on Reddit one problem that I do hope that is addressed, and I wanted to bring it up right here. Ragnar Knock says this: I'm in love with this game and can't wait until release. The only thing that is frustrating are the co-op lags. Now, when I was playing with my twin bro Ryan, we were actually experiencing this, or he was experiencing this, because I was the host and he was not. It's peer-to-peer, of course, with this game. So I do hope that is addressed, much like they have to address the issue with, of course, that, you know, missing loot that suddenly disappears in some players' inventory. They really got to get that addressed, and they currently are working on that big time behind the scenes. They've already offered patches on PC. Now, let's talk about your top comments on the latest Outriders video. Let's check it out right now, shall we? So, first of all, this was the latest video right here. It says, biggest update out now, massive improvements to PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X patch review. So yeah, one of the biggest things that was changed with the game recently, for me at least, was the fact they got rid of the freaking motion blur. I absolutely hated it, and they have improved matchmaking and so on and so forth. So let's take a look at what you guys had to say about it. Pletch says, I love what they're doing. Every company should be putting out demos of their games. It could be glitched to hell and back, but it's free, so I don't care. Plus, they're fixing the issues, so when and if I do want to buy it, I know I'm getting something that is polished. 10 out of 10. Early access is trash. Hatchet says, motion blur toggle. We did it, boys. As you can see, a lot of the community really wanted that toggle options, but I'm surprised at how quickly they added it to the game. Usually these companies take freaking forever over the simplest things. I'm so thrilled they added this simple feature to the game so quickly. Now, furthermore, Amin Ra says, oh yes, I hate motion blur. Yeah, though I really wanted Anthem to come back. Sad face. After playing Outriders, I just think it's such a mistake that EA abandoned Anthem. You know, I felt like they had a good base for Anthem, and to see them abandon it so quickly is just gut-wrenching. Especially for those that were working on Anthem next. There were about, I think, over 30 people, which is not much at all, working on Anthem next, and they were like, we're not going to hire new people. We're just going to abandon this. And I think Square Enix, after the experience with Marvel Avengers and seeing what's happened with Anthem and a lot of live service games, and you know, People Can Fly is the developer of this, of course, but to see Square Enix and People Can Fly coming together, recognizing that live service games are having a rough go of it, especially lately, I think it's smart that they did not take that path. So kudos to them once again. But there you guys have it. With all the latest Outriders news and updates. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more Outriders news. And remember, check out my streams in the description below. I've also been playing God of War on PS5. I love that game as well. But thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.